I'm Stephen, USSR Robinson, and you're watching Sporting Icons. Papa!
Just so I can show everybody how the other half live. Look at that. Chateau de Cluzel.
Steven! You take that, you're a nightmare. We're trying to have a fucking deep conversation.
Stephen, good to see you.
Good, alright.
Yeah, we're here at Mark Cluzel's house.
Yeah.
We are. How's everything?
Good, yeah, really good. I've made a conscious choice to get away from some stuff and come up here and just take my mind off a few things going on back home, and come up here and focus on the 24th of July. And you know, me and Mark made that choice off the back of a couple of bad spars, couple of bad pad sessions. Mark pulled us to one side. He says, "What's wrong?" Like all men, I says nothing, and another bad spar, and pulled us to the side again. He went, "Listen, Stevie, what's wrong?" I says, "No, nothing. I'm fine." And then a bad pad session. He just, you know, we had a good conversation, and they always say, but you know, a coach isn't just your coach. He becomes your best friend. He becomes your mentor. He becomes everything. And Mark noticed there was something up, and we had a good heart-to-heart, and made the decision after coming back from Portugal to come up here and concentrate on myself and concentrate on my fight for the 24th of July.
So you're talking about depression?
Not so much me suffering with depression, just a lot of things going on that, you know, can cloud your mind. Things that I can't really talk about, or wouldn't really talk about to people, because it's on a personal level, and you know, which can lead to depression. That's the issue with people, and I'm wearing a hoodie, funnily enough, saying just talk. The issue is with a lot of people is they don't focus on themselves, and you know, they put everybody else before them, or they keep everything in. And I heard a great thing on a podcast, and somebody says, if you keep a bottle of water out in front of you for 10 minutes, it's fine. Keep a bottle of water out for 20 minutes, you're going to start to feel something. You keep that out for 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, keep that water held out, and it's going to build up on your shoulders. And that's the same as with mental health. You know, you can bottle things up, and you can keep it in, and then some trigger's just going to make that explode. And unfortunately, you know, due to the pandemic and due to everything that's going on in the world, nobody knows where they're at, nobody knows where they are, and there is a lot of issues with mental health at the minute. And I think it's very important that people do, you know, just open up, talk, speak to the friends, speak to the families, speak to somebody close, speak to a random. I get messages quite regularly on Instagram, and I'll always try and respond to people, especially if it's to do with mental health, because I think, you know, I'd like to see myself as an advocate and be able to talk to people, and everybody should be able to talk to somebody, and shouldn't have to keep anything in. But as we know, boxing is a very, very, very lonely sport, and you know, I get messages quite regularly telling us, how lucky are you don't work a 9 to 5? How, you know, I've just come back from Portugal, and people were messaging us, "Oh, you're so lucky to be in Portugal," or "You're so lucky to do this, you're so lucky to do that." But what they don't realise is, to get to where I am now, what I've had to give up. I've given up, you know, stag do's, weddings, times away with, you know, girlfriend at the time, and I've given up birthdays, parties. I've given up so much to get to where I am today. And when they say, you know, you're lucky, I wouldn't call it lucky. It's took a lot. When they're out every weekend partying, or they're going away on holiday with the lads, and I can't because I've got an ABA semi-final, or I've got to fight for England, or I've got to, I've got my first pro fight, or whatever the circumstances is. It's a very lonely sport, and there's not many people out there to talk to. There's not many people out there that help you. You just sort of, you're too worried about the KO rather than finding out whether or not you're okay, and that's the big thing. And I think everybody needs to just spend a little bit more time focusing on themselves. And I've took myself with my phone's broke, fortunate enough, and I've been without a phone sort of for a week, and it's probably been the best thing that's happened.
So how is it for you then? Because when you turned pro, also you made your professional debut at the Eagles Arena, then you had 2 fights pretty much on the bounce.
Yeah.
Then everything has come to like a grinding halt because of like lockdown. So last time you fought must be 15, 16 months ago, if not longer.
It was 1st of March. It was, funnily enough, off the back of posts. I see it on Instagram on my post. I see it on your YouTube channel. You get a lot of people saying, well, he's inactive. He hasn't fought for X amount of time, and he never gets fights in. But people have to realise there's a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, and unfortunately, fights on just haven't been happening for the best of us.
Yeah.
And I've been in
without TV as well.
Yeah, well that's it. And there's been the odd fight on with Hearn, and then Warren brought the shows back in, and people were fortunate enough to fight. But I've been in an unfortunate position where my last fight was the 1st of March. But what can I do? What can I sit there and let that get to us mentally, and what's that going to achieve? There's nothing, unfortunately, that I could have done to change that situation. Now, I tell you what I have done. I've spent the last 15 months getting in the best shape of my life, getting the fittest I've ever been, the strongest I've ever been, hitting the hardest I've ever hit. So in that last 15 months, focusing on myself, focusing on my training, you come the 24th of July, everybody who hasn't seen us, or who just jumped in off the back of during the pandemic, who doesn't know much about us, they'll see what I'm about, and where that last 15 months, because I haven't stopped working, I haven't stopped grinding, I haven't stopped sparring.
Do you have moments of doubt though, like during this whole 15 months of why am I doing this? Because there's no there hasn't been like a light at the end of the tunnel for such a long time for anybody really. Definitely. And of course that's your living, that's how you make money.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been really hard, and I've always sort of looked at it like this, and people say, why is the biggest fish in the sea? Why is the biggest fish in the pond? Because he just goes unnoticed, and he swims past all the bait, past everyone else, and he just goes unnoticed, and then it's his time to shine. And unfortunately, I've been in a position where I haven't been able to help it. It hasn't been an injury. It hasn't been, because I've took a bad loss. It hasn't been because I'm not focusing on the sport. I've given 110% in the last 4 years when I boxed for England. My whole dedication, and I know it's not longevity sport, and I know it's a short sport to be part of, but you can in that short time you can make big moves. And I've sort of looked at what people have done within 2-3 years now, having 15-16 months off altogether. If I had have just thought, oh, shite of this, I'm going to go and get a 9 to 5, pick boxing back up when it picks back up.
A lot of fighters have done that though.
Yeah, they have, and they're going to be in an unfortunate position where it's going to take them 12 months to then get back into shape. And listen, I'm blessed and in such a fortunate position that I've got people behind us, funding us, sponsoring us, people behind us who have kept us right mentally, like Mark, and my family, and I'm in a very fortunate position that unfortunately people aren't in, and you know, I'm very grateful and thankful that I'm in this position, but at the same time I don't take it for granted. The money that I get given monthly to live, I make sure that when it's my time to showcase, I will show those people who have been funding us through the last 15 months why they've been funding us and what I'm all about. They believe in us, Mark believes in us, otherwise Mark would have told us 6 months ago, Stephen, go and get a 9 to 5, mate. It's, you know, we don't know what, but he doesn't. He's kept us in the gym. He's kept opening his gym during lockdowns for us. We've carried on doing pads. We've carried on travelling up and down sparring, the UK. We're constantly working on things, constantly working on trying to get fights. Obviously now I've signed with Black Flash that I'm in a fortunate position where I've been promised, touch wood, permitting injuries, I'll have 5 fights by the end of the year out. So there is light at the end of the tunnel, and like I said, permitting everything goes well with the whole lockdown thing, and the 21st of June, I should be 8-0 by the end of the year.
Is that what keeps you going then?
I think what keeps us going is the positivity around us from my sponsors and from my coach and from Mark and Giuseppe, and just seeing the rise of where I sit when you see the likes of Joe Joyce at 35, you know, getting a £1 million British title shot, and you look at what's around you and you think, I've got 4 or 5 years before I'm there. And you know, my diet's on point, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, so everything's on point, to the point where I know that I'm probably still got 2-3 years before I even reach my prime. So I doubt myself sometimes when I see the likes of Dubois, Gorman, you know, these 20-year-olds, 21, 22, 23, 24, I think they've got British title at 24. And then you look at the likes of Dillian White and Joe Joyce and Povetkin and, you know, Pulev, who are hitting 32, 33, 34, 35 plus up to 40 and still getting those top fights. And you just think, put that self-doubt at the back of your mind, listen to the people around you who are supporting you, believe in yourself, and, you know, why can't you get there? And listen, the issue is with being in the limelight and doing these interviews and having the followers on Instagram and stuff, you're always going to get negativity, you're always going to get, you know, you'll see on the back of your YouTube channels, oh he's shit, oh he's slow, oh he's sluggish, oh he's a pansy, you know, which is all good. If that's what they believe, that's fine. That, you know, I respect that, I understand that, and it's the same as I get messages daily on Instagram telling us how shit I look, or how slow I look, or how bad I look. But I use them as fuel. I think, alright, you know, I know there's probably, out of 5,000 followers, there's probably 1,000 following us to see us fail, to say, I told you so. And, you know, you can look at them and you can look at the negativity, you can look at the bad comments, and you can think, this is no good for me, I don't like this. And you can let them fester on you and let them get into your head, and, you know, but for me, they're my fuel. They're my fuel to the fire to say, alright, perfect. If you think I'm shit, people comment and say, you know, Fury shit, Joshua shit, the people at the top of the game, and they'll be sitting, you know, on the back of a laptop, probably never stepped into a gym, sitting calling the likes of, I mean, I'm not putting myself to their calibre, but them at the top of the game get called shit, and it goes in all sports. It's not just boxing.
Of course.
And we're in an unfortunate position where being in boxing, it's not like a team sport, it is a very lonely sport, and when you step into that ring, it's Valhalla, it's kill or be killed. He's going to want to take your head off, and you've got nobody else to turn to, you've got no pals behind you, or, you know, you make a mistake, that mistake can be life-threatening. You make a mistake and get punched at the back of the head because you've turned your body, or, you know, anything. You dehydrate yourself too much before a fight, you take a fight on short notice, anything. It's not like football, it's not like a sport where if you make a mistake it's like, oh, well, he lost. It's a mistake that could be life-threatening, and you know, you go into every sort of training session knowing that every day there's people want to see us fail, there's people who are going to be negative about us, but great, they're still following us, they're still watching me pack, they're still commenting, so they know about us.
It affects some people though, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely, and that's why I'm saying it's not just in sport, it's in all walks of life. You know, people say the stupidest thing I've ever heard is why would they kill themselves? They've got so much money, they're famous. What does that matter? What does that mean? Because you've got money, because you've got fame. If anything, that drives you to becoming mental, becoming unstable, you know, suffering from depression, because you think you've got the world at your feet and everybody's behind you, when realistically, when things go tits up, that's when you find out who your true pals are. If I lost on the 24th of July, touch wood I don't, will Mark still train us? Will you still be coming to interview us? Yeah. Will I still have me mates? Will I? Yeah, because these are people. Will I lose thousands of followers on Instagram? Probably. and I know that. Will I? But you know, I know there's people who, like I say, are following us to see the hype, to see what I'm about, and you know, as soon as that hype crashes, they'll be gone. But it's my job to make sure that hype doesn't crash, and I will make sure that hype doesn't crash, and I'll keep that fire fueled.
Are you motivated enough though? Because obviously in the amateurs you had, was it 46 fights or something?
44.
44 fights, lost 6 on points.
Yeah.
So each time you lost, did you use that as motivation to make sure it doesn't happen again, to make sure you fix certain things? So in the program, so I don't know, if for example you did lose somehow on July 24th, you'll go, right, okay, I'll continue and I'll tweak it.
Yeah, so the issue is because I haven't been in the ring for so long, have I got what people would class as ring rust? You know, no, because I've been active, I've been sparring. It's not as if, you know, I'm coming into this 10-week camp, 6-week camp, 8-week camp off the back of not doing anything. I've stayed active, I've remained sparring with some of the top boys, by the way, not just, you know,
Joshua?
You know, yeah, Joshua Fury. So it's not as if I've just been sparring the local kid off the street. So the question of the amateur losses, I had 6 losses, and I think 2 of them were very comfortable losses. 2 of them I can openly say, yeah, I got beat. You know, I hold my hands up. The guy on the night was better. 2 of them, I had the guy down, and still somehow that becomes a 10-8 round, and I still got beat on a split decision. Don't know how that works. Anyway, in the other 2, could have went either way. Could have been close. So the 2 that I comfortably lost, I'm the first to hold my hands up and say, I lost that comfortably, and listen, I didn't do enough. The last fight I fought was against Delicious Oreo, who's now obviously, you know, top to be the next 2024 Olympian. It was in the ABA semi-final, and it was probably one of the worst decisions I've personally seen in boxing. A bit like Conlon in the Olympics, just obviously not to that level, so I can imagine what it felt like to be him. And I decided off the back of that I'll never ever box amateur again. Off the politics involved in boxing, and off losing that, when I come back to the corner and Mark says, class, you've more than comfortably won that. His corner said the same when I went, and you know, because Mick, his coach, was one of the GB coaches, so I knew Mick anyway. And then to lose on a split decision was enough for me. And if Mark had said, no, you're not, I'm not turning you pro, you're going to fight amateur, I think I would have give up there and then. I think I would have said, nah, I'm not. So
That fight's on YouTube, by the way, if anyone wants to go watch it.
I'll message us for a link if you can't find it. But yeah, so again, it's about having the right people around you to keep you focused, and being able to talk to people, and being able to, you know, having the friends and having the family who aren't there just because they want to see you become someone and say, oh, my mate's a pro boxer. The friends for life. Do you know what I mean? These are kids who have followed us when I was a little shit walking around the street. These are kids who have been there then. So just because I'm at the level I'm at now doesn't mean they're going to change their appearance, and that's who people need in their life. And if they haven't got them, then they'll have somebody, they'll have parents, or even if it's just somebody they talk to daily on social media, just drop them a message and say, hi mate, you know, this is the situation, I'm suffering a little bit, can you talk? And I think there's not enough people do that, unfortunately, and especially men.
I find with anxieties and all these kind of things with like a mental illness, because my wife used to work in a doctor's surgery, and the amount of people that will come in, you know, they're faking it just because they want a signing off certificate so they don't have to go to work and all this kind of thing. So there's always a stigma because you can't prove you've definitely got it. Likewise, you can't prove that that you can't. So because there's so many people out there who use the system, people will look at people who may well be real and go, are you just lazy? Are you just putting a fast one here?
Yeah.
And I think that the people just abusing the system has given mental health a bit of a bad stigma.
Definitely, and the issue with people abusing the system is the funding and the help isn't out there off the back of that, because, you know, people are getting counselling and are getting psychiatric help off the back of just wanting a 6 month.
Yeah.
And I you know, but at the same time, there's genuine people out there who need the help, and you know, if there's not a doctor surgery, or there's not somebody out there to help you in, you know, the top of the level that can talk you down, there will be somebody that you can turn to, and whether that be somebody on social media, whether that be your mum, your dad, your brother, your sister, your friend, your auntie, your uncle, your gran, your granddad, just turn to them. Don't hold it in.
It's got to start with yourself though, hasn't it?
Oh, definitely. Self-love, and, you know, believing in yourself, and in all walks of life, sport, job, you know, just having that self-belief in yourself that you're going to wake up every day and, you know, you're going to conquer something, you're going to do something with yourself is a massive push forward. And, you know, you sit and fester on something, that becomes a vicious circle to where, you know, you'll sit and fester on it all day. What do you turn to? Do you turn to antidepressants? Do you turn to alcohol? Do you turn to drugs to get rid of that? Then 3-4 days later you've run out of that, and then, you know, crashes down on you. And that, you know, unfortunately that you see that a lot.
I mean, you said at the beginning, like before we close this one off, that you get like a lot of messages saying, "Oh, you're lucky," la la la. But in some ways, I don't think that it's necessarily luck. It's more about the fact that you are in a unique position where so many people want to be in your position, but don't get to your position. You know, They want to be a professional fighter. They want to be a heavyweight. You know, they want to have this, that, and the other. Whereas I don't know what the percentages are of who try to do it and who make it. I mean, I know it's very, very early in your career, but nobody, well, I would say a very, very high percentage would never ever get to 3-0 as a heavyweight.
Yeah, like I say, I am lucky in a sense of getting to where I am, but at the same time, that has took 4 years of missing out on so many things. You know, missing holidays, missing weddings, missing birthdays. I haven't had a drink in 4.5 years. And, you know, these people who tell us I'm lucky or who want to be are the same people who are posting that they've been on a 2-day bender, 3-day bender, or, you know, they're out at Ocean Beach in Ibiza with the pals three times of the year. And do I miss that? Yeah. But I'll be one of these, 40-year-olds at Ocean Beach with a bottle of Ciroc, with a, touch wood, with a British title around my waist, and even more so, living it up like Wayne Lineker, standing at the DJ booth with my silver hair. But no, I'm in a fortunate position that I've got the people around us to fund us to do what I do, but it's definitely not luck. I mean, it's took I've been boxing now 6.5 years, and it's took, I'd say, 4 years of being in a pretty much, 1,440 day training camp.
Wow.
So does luck play its part? Luck plays its part probably 5% of the fact that I've got lucky people around us who fund us, who are, but I'd call it fortunate, and I'd call it hard work over luck, definitely.
Lennox Lewis did that as well. He said that he ain't going to get married, he ain't going to have kids or anything until his career's ended.
Yeah.
So put everything you can then, and then reap the rewards at the end.
Rewards at the end, that's exactly how I look at it. Reap the rewards at the end. 6-7 year time, 3-4 houses, go and retire over in America, have something like this at the back of it. Perfect. Make these sacrifices now. It's a very, very short game, it's a very short term. Then look at the long term rewards. Concentrate on the short term for the long term.
Can you see yourself still doing it when you're like 40?
I'd probably take too many punches. I block punches with my chin. Listen, you never say never. You don't know, you don't know. I'll fight Jake Paul when I'm 40 maybe, for some other new TikToker or YouTuber that's out around then, or whatever else is out by the time I'm 40. But I think this day and age, with nutrition and with science and with gyms and with biomechanics and the people out there helping you, you can easily go till you're 40-year-old. Look at, like I say, the likes of Pulev, Povetkin. I can guarantee Pulev and Povetkin, and even the likes of Klitschko, would still beat, I'd say, in the top 50 in the world. I think they would still beat 40 of them. And I think, and you're talking about people who are 42, 43, but have you seen the bodies on them? Have you seen the way they live? Have you seen the lifestyles they live?
40s is the new 30s, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly that, because like I say, science has come on so much. Look, even not just boxing, even in football, you look at the likes of Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo, and the people who, Messi, 34, 35, 36, 37, Ryan Giggs, 38-year-old, and he's still, at the top of his game, running 5 miles a game for Manchester United at 38.
Yeah. Because
science has come on so much. The whole retiring at the age of 28 and turning pro when you're 19, it's not, it's different now. And live the lifestyle and reap the rewards by the end of it.
Alright, let's close off with this questioning. So, where you are right now, 3-0, so you're still in the very, very early period of your professional career. What's the motivation? Is it money or is it legacy at this point?
100% not money. If it was money, I definitely wouldn't be in the position where I am now. Living on my mother's settee. No, money means nothing to me. I mean, Mark will tell you, I'd give a pal my last pound. Money comes and goes. It means nothing to us. I was brought up without, having daft amounts of money. I was brought up with not that money meant so much to me and my family. So when you did have a little bit of money, and when the money come in, you would use that to make sure that you could live. Yeah. And the rest, would take you away on little caravan holidays and stuff. So money's never been essential to me. Building a legacy and just showing people that they can do it too. Not just in sport, but in anything, in all walks of life. You can step into something at an age where you don't think you're going to do anything, and you can become someone. And whether that be in your own self, your own job, in sport, never say never. Never think I'm too old, I'm not good enough, because you are. And believe in yourself. Put the hard work in, put the effort in, put the time in, make commitments, make sacrifices, and anybody can do anything. And it's all up there. It's 100% all up there. And like I say, I would love to think that in 4 or 5 years' time, if I can have 100 people who have started boxing off the back of watching me or watching my rise, or seeing that I only come into boxing at 24-year-old, and think, oh, I am going to go and get that job that I wanted. I am going to apply for university at 26-year-old. What's stopping us? I'm going to leave Morrison's, and I am going to become a midwife. I am going to become a psychiatric nurse. I am going to go into mental health, or whatever your dream is, whatever your ambition is. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it, because it'll be the people who are close by to you who don't want to see you succeed, because they're happy to have you out every Friday, Saturday, Sunday with them. That's the issue. It's the close people who drag you down and keep you dragged down. You need to take yourself away from all that and focus on yourself, and accept the fact that everybody has an ability to do something with their lives if you're willing to put in the effort.
It's a good way to close it off.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.